Two different women, two different countries, two different eras. The half-bitten apple sold for lakhs. The soap made with a bathwater sold out in minutes. This is Silk Smitha. And this is Sydney Sweeney. At first glance, they are worlds apart, different industries, different continents and decades apart. But they have one thing in common. They were both made to be looked at, not just to be admired or loved, but to be fantasized. This isn't new. We have been doing this gazing for thousands of years through paintings, posters, movies and magazines. It's called the male gaze. Silk didn't choose it, Sydney did. One was pushed into that role, the other stepped in voluntarily and made it a part of her brand. So in all these years, the male gaze itself hasn't really changed. What's changed is who gets to control it. And this shift isn't just happening in Hollywood, it's happening in India too. But why in this day and age is a soap made from a Hollywood star's bathwater selling? I think it's an important question to answer because this graph right here shows that consumption of adult content is at an all-time high, and there are women like these adult stars who are selling things in the market which are way more sexual than a bathwater soap. Why was the soap sold out instantly? And as we all know, India likes to get westernized. So are we seeing a future where soaps are being sold which are made from Sreeleela's bathwater, or apples in auction for lakhs bitten by Tamannaah? I think we need to get to the bottom of all this. Meet Vijayalakshmi in her first Tamil film, Young and Pretty. The character she is playing is Silk. This transformed Vijayalakshmi to Silk Smitha, the seductress. Her roles were simple: enter, seduce, exit. I guess there are some characters she played which were versatile, but very few. The characters she mostly played were like fantasies to men. She had something no one else did: the beauty, the dance, the elegance, the fashion, and especially those eyes. In her prime, the plot of the film didn't matter. Terrible film with Silk in it, even just for one song, became a hit. She reached the peak of fame as a symbol of desire, but she couldn't escape it. That was the problem. She wanted to be more than just the seductress, but she was trapped in that image. Here's how the story goes. She's on set, eating an apple during a break, gets called for the shot, leaves the apple behind, someone takes it, sells it for lakhs, and back in the 80s, a half-bitten apple by Silk being sold for lakhs made sense, because she was one of a kind. In India, especially South India, nobody embodied the male gaze like she did. And also there was no access to any other media except for the silver screen where she shined like a star. She was the ultimate fantasy. Fast forward to today, Hollywood, Sydney Sweeney, blonde, beautiful, confident.
The biggest misconception about me is that I am a dumb blonde with big tits. I'm naturally a brunette.
This beautiful brunette walks into a room and gets objectified too, just like Silk. She's talked about this, about how it dehumanizes her when people sexualize her. But here's where it gets interesting. Sydney doesn't stay trapped, she brands it. She owns the conversation about her body, opens up about sexuality, doesn't run from it, she leans in. But this shift isn't just happening in Hollywood, it's happening in India too. Today's actresses are bold, confident, and are willing to play into that gaze. Take Disha Patani for example. She knows exactly what she's doing. If America has Sydney Sweeney, we have Disha Patani. And also we can't forget Janhvi Kapoor. And honestly, if they want to do it, there is nothing wrong with that. But case in point, the bathwater soap started as a joke, a fan requesting her bathwater in the comments of an Instagram ad.
Hello, you dirty little boys. Are you interested in my body? Wash? Well, you can't have it. Because this isn't for boys, it's for men.
Weird comments like this is nothing new. Most celebrities would ignore it, but not Sydney. She partners with a men's skincare brand and actually does it. 5,000 exclusive bars made with her bathwater. Gone instantly. I mean, from complaining about how she was being objectified to this, talk about character development. Meanwhile in India, female actresses have had temples built for them. From Khushbu in the 90s, to Nidhi Agarwal in 2021, to Samantha in 2025. Men really have not changed. Sure, politicians and other celebrities get temples too, but when it's an actress, you can almost always say it's because of the looks, the product of the male gaze. But what exactly is the male gaze? Back in the 1970s, a film theorist Laura Mulvey said most movies are made from a male perspective to male audience. Because of that, women in films are often shown mainly to be looked at, not to drive the story forward. Basically, objectification. But it does not necessarily have to be sexual. Even if you're appreciating a woman's beauty like she's a painting or a sculpture, that's still objectification because you're comparing her with an object. But wait, is there such thing as a female gaze? Absolutely. Look at these Marvel superheroes. Or Hrithik Roshan. You think it's relatively new? Marlon Brando says otherwise.
Here you are.
Well, you gotta be careful. You're sitting around and damn thing gets you cold. Especially when you've been exercising hard like bowling is.
So here's the reality. Let's just call it the human gaze at this point. If you're good looking and you're on a screen, people are gonna love it regardless of the gender and are gonna objectify you. Cameron Diaz, one of Hollywood's prettiest actresses ever, once said, "I think every woman wants to be objectified. There's a little part of you that hopes to be seen that way, and I think it's healthy." Now, this is an important statement we have to take into consideration. It's coming from an A-list Hollywood star, and honestly, I think it's mostly true. Not all women, but many lean into it. You don't need me to explain if you have been on Instagram or TikTok. And again, this applies to men as well. But like I said in the intro, why in this day and age, when adult content out there is at an all-time high and things more sexual than a bathwater soap are being sold, why still this soap was sold out instantly? Here's what research tells us. Teasing creates more anticipation than complete exposure. Revealing clothes, but not everything. The tease is more powerful than the reveal. And Sydney Sweeney has mastered this. She knows exactly what she's doing by teasing men just enough to keep them in check while also capitalizing on them. Like this recent ad where she's completely catering to the male audience and the stock of the jeans brand goes up by $300 million in a day. And also she's a Hollywood star, so whatever she does gets more spotlight than other women. Well, that answers one question. But will this happen in India? Obviously Sreeleela's soap and Tamannaah's apple was a joke, but if you know Urfi Javed or Poonam Pandey, you would definitely agree that they would do something like this for attention. And there are men who would give them the attention. I mean, this girl got lakhs of followers for this reaction. But even if they don't do it, don't worry guys, Dhanush has got your back. There's news that Dhanush and Sydney will work together on a project, and if this happens, I'm sure Sydney would not disappoint her freaky Indian fans.
Sydney Sweeney की फोटो के नीचे everybody has written आप somebody wants to eat your panties है वो इंडिया का flag है वो और मेरा नाम ले दिया.
And speaking of freaky men, there's actually a country that took this even further. Japan, where selling dirty underwears of pretty women in a public vending machine was a thing. What can I say? Japan shows innovation and creativity in every single thing it does. In the end, the apple rots, the soap melts, and the dirty underwear is put in the washing machine. Then just find something else to fantasize about, I guess. But is there a solution? Cancel women's empowerment and send these women back to the kitchen? Or remove testosterone from these men? Okay, but seriously though, these are adult women making their own choices. The men who are desperately behind them are also grown adults. Which brings us to the age-old question, who's to blame? The drug dealer or the drug addict?